Hi, traders. I was out this morning, but this afternoon I came in, watched the markets, and I think today pretty much the term that could sum it up was rebalancing before the OPEX end of quarter OPEX as of Friday, and we had a lot of rebalancing going on today. Investors, the stuff that's been underperforming, buying up the underperformers, and then they were selling off the stocks that really ran up over the past quarter. Okay, and not only the quarter, the month. So that's pretty much what I see happening in the markets today. Now I'm going to start out with XHB because tomorrow we have um, the home builders data, the permits, and how many homes are being built and stuff for over the past month. And I think what we saw today, we had a big boom in the financials, and that was a combination of the end of quarter rebalancing, of course. But in addition to that, we have this news data coming out tomorrow, so that created a short squeeze in the financials. And both the regional banks and the big conglomerate banks, they were both on trend support that I've got drawn on my charts, and so they were due for a nice little bounce as of today. And something that's going on the data tomorrow, if you see these Bollinger Bands on your home builders, we're coming into that data tomorrow with a squeeze going on our home builders. So there's a very good likelihood if they come in ahead or come in well, especially if they come in ahead with markets being bullish, that we're going to see a short squeeze in the home builders tomorrow morning. So just keep that in mind that it could always go the opposite direction, of course, but that's something I'm looking for tomorrow. As you can see here on your XLF, we were coming in kind of bear flagging on this fib fan support, and we were right on the verge of a significant trend change potentially for our financials. So, but today buyers came in and on extremely high volume. We haven't had volume like that since way back to last day was August 13th. Was the last time we had that kind of volume in the financials. So just keep that in mind. Right now we're holding those other swing highs, but given that size of that candle, and if the home builders data comes out positive, I can easily see a run back to all-time highs on the financials. KRE is a major component in the IWM, or your Russell 2000, and it wasn't quite as a dramatic move. It came down. It's acting a little bit weaker. We're below our 50-day moving average on the KRE, but if that home builder data does come in, we'll probably get a back test of the 50-day moving average on your KRE. I don't really like how IWN's been performing here. We're kind of rolling over here, it seems like, and we're still above our 50-day moving average, so it could easily bounce. So if the data does come in positive, that'd be great. And we are holding up here in this range above the prior highs, but it is a little concerning that we've had this continued weakness for 2 weeks now in our Russell 2000. Another thing that's concerning me, we're pushing the lower band on our Russell 2000 at a sell point on our market webs. So, and we are below our 20 moving average on that. So there's several bearish signals going on here on our Russell, and we do have a squeeze happening here too. So this is a bearish sector to be a little concerned about here. So just keep this one on watch here, that your IWM seems to be losing favor here. On the flip side, your diamonds, your Dow components, we are breaking out today. It was amazing the run we were getting today in the diamonds on above average, slightly above average volume. So that's very a bullish signal. That's why I don't want you to read too much into the IWM weakness, considering the strength we're getting in our diamonds here. So given that relative strength, I'm thinking we're going to definitely come back up and retest the all-time highs. We're in striking distance to do that tomorrow. Okay, our Nasdaq. We're right below, a smidgen below our 20 SMA on the Nasdaq, and this is potentially a bounce point for our Nasdaq. So just keep this one in mind. You got some conflicting things going on in your Nasdaq to see what's happening, but I want to also point out Micron reports after hours tomorrow. Here's what I want to point out here on Micron. It has been taken to the woodshed with all this tariff talk. Okay, and none of this tariff talk has become reality for the businesses as of now. I mean, now China's doing bad. Don't get me wrong. Their stock market's doing bad, but it doesn't necessarily mean that their sales and stuff are doing bad over there in China yet. But they missed earnings last quarter, but they have a very low price to earnings multiple. I mean, extremely low for tech stocks. So this here is a prime candidate for a potential short squeeze. Now, that may not happen, but if you get a short squeeze in this, then that's going to drive the real dog for the Qs, and that's your semiconductor sector. And if you look at your semiconductor sector right here, it's just been hanging out right through here at this 2 months ago, your volume point of control here. This is typically a launching pad for higher. And this month, value last month was put up at the 108.70 area, and we are trading below that area right now. So if we were to get a short squeeze out of Micron, we could see a really easy bounce and short squeeze in the semiconductors in general. So just keep that in mind that we do have some big stuff happening tomorrow that could be impacting this stuff. Some quick stuff that's happening today. AAL, American Airlines. We are breaking above the, I think that's the 200 moving average. I think that's what that is. Don't have it up there. And we are breaking out of this, cup and handle, I think. Yeah, cup and handle, bottom of a range. And we were breaking out today, and it had very strong volume today. So good chance that American Airlines is going to find favor for the next week or so. Okay, you have Facebook crossing over the 50-day moving average. And that red line on that last chart, that was a 100-day moving average we were crossing over. Google was getting a bunch of call activity today, and we are still on this 100-day moving average, but we were getting some responsive buying today, and we are crossing over the 50-day moving average today. So we had like a mini squeeze of averages going on right here, which could be a propel the stock. Now, we did have below average volume on Google, so I'm not quite as bullish yet, but things start taking off in the with Facebook and the Qs. Google's probably going to do well. Tesla has slightly below average volume today, but we did manage to cross back over to 20 SMA, so on our Bollinger Band. So that's a bullish development here, and so just keep that in mind. It did have a very positive move last quarter on their earnings, and we might be setting up for a move higher into earnings, going back up to the 320 area, run up into earnings. On the downside, some of the high flyers were taking profit off the table today, knowing that we were going to have rebalancing next week, and the traders were getting ahead of the curve here, trying to take some of their profits off before the funds start selling, having forced sell situation next week. So that's what we had going on here. AMD is coming in a little bit. Amazon They came in a little bit today, a little bit of red day. We do have some value here at the 1900 level, but a little bit of profit taking today in Amazon. Apple had about average volume. They were down most of the day, but they managed to close about break even for the day. This is another one had a whole lot of upside the past quarter, so it's likely to have a little bit of selling pressure the first of the week. Microsoft had almost an engulfing candle today, and a little bit of profit taking off of it. Had average volume, so the sell-off was on average volume. Coming in just a little bit, knowing that next week the funds are going to have to rebalance and sell off some of the Microsoft shares. And now I'm going to finish the video with Salesforce.com, which is an amazing stock, but there was a little bit of profit taking today, bringing it back into the 20 SMA. Like I said, next week the funds are probably going to have to liquidate some of the Salesforce shares the first of the week. So traders are just trying to get ahead of the curve on some of these positioning that was going on today. And we're probably going to see a lot of this into the end of the week. So I would be careful on the short side, though. I would be extremely careful. And if these high flyers can hold up, pretty well hold up with a bid under them, then some of these underperformers will start catching a bid and bringing up the indices, in my opinion. So that's all I got to say for the day, and please like the video if you like it, and give me comments below on YouTube, and I appreciate all the feedback you can give me. Thanks a lot for your time.